All right, you guys, so we are back and on to question 4. True or false, is triangle ABC similar to FDE? So ABC similar to FDE. Well, what we do know is that they have these two angles in common. We need to have at least 2 for that angle-angle theorem. And this 68 does not match this 73, but they're not corresponding angles anyway, right? What we can do is figure out what these other angles are, because if this angle A here is 73, or this angle E is 68, then we know that they are similar. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll erase all of this writing over here. Let's go ahead and say, I like this pencil one the best, I think. Let's go ahead and say 38 plus 68 plus some value we don't know should all add up to be 180. So 38 plus 68 first, let's see, 38 plus is 106. So I know 106 plus some number is equal to 180. And that is going to be, did I do that correct? 106, 38 plus 68? Yep. So, and then I'm going to just do minus 180, and I'm going to get 74. So I think we are out of luck, guys, but let's double check the other one. So here, x is going to be equal to 74. I said x, I guess it should be a, right? This is going to be 74. We were hoping for 73, but I think this is how they were going to trick us. On this side, we have 38, we have 73 and 38, which is going to be, if I add them, 11 carrier 1, 10, 11. 111, and then we want to know what the other number is, so I'm going to do clear 111 minus 180. 101. So this angle is going to be 1. Oh, that's not right. What did I do wrong, you guys? Did you catch me? Were you screaming at this computer screen? I just said minus 10. What I needed to have done is to have said 111 minus 180. Is 69. So this here is, this angle here is 69. This angle here was 74. So there are no 2 angles that are the same, so these triangles are not similar. All right, let's see. Here. Calculate x for number 5. Oh, so this is fun. So for this one, so for number 5, let's do brighter blue. We're calculating x. We know that since at least 2 of these angles are the same in both of these triangles, we know that by the angle-angle similarity that these 2 triangles are similar to each other. What that means is that there should be a scale factor for each side from one triangle to the next triangle. So x, or let's go this way, 8 times something should give me x, which means 4 times that same number would give me 7. You could think of this in a couple different ways, and actually the way I'm going to think about it is, you can also think about it as, if we do that, then that means if I make this side into a fraction, like 7 over x, it should be the same as this side, which is 4 over 8. Or, this is kind of hard to see, you guys, maybe I need to change it back to like dark blue. So 7 over x is equal to 4 over 8. You can say that because if the angles are the same, then those sides should have the same. Or you could also do it as from one triangle to another triangle, like I was saying before. We could also say that 8 over x should be equal to 4 over 7. So we could take this and put it over x should be equal to this over 7. So there's a few different ways you can do this. The reason why I went with first 7 over x equals 4 over 8, because I know in my tiny little brain that 4 over 8 is the same as 1/2, right? And that's going to make the math a lot easier for me to do in my head. If this is 1/2 and I need this also to simplify down to 1/2, all I have to figure out is what number is 7 half of. Well, I know that 7 is half of 14. So this denominator must be 14. So x must be 14. So this x down here, let me write in pink so you can see where I am at now. X is equal to 14. So let's check ourselves. Is there a number that if I multiply it by 8, I get 14? Yes, all I have to do is take 14 and divide it by 8. So watch me with my calculator here because I haven't been doing it right. So I'm going to take 14 divided by 8, 1.75. So what that means is, so 8 times 1.75 equals 14. What that means is I should be able to take 4 times 1.75, and that should give me 7. And that's how I can check myself. There is really absolutely no reason why you shouldn't know at least that, see, it's correct. You shouldn't know that you're not getting the right answer. I said that funny. You may not be able to fix your answer, but you should know when it is wrong. If you know that you got an answer that is wrong, I will help you find the right answer if you can at least prove to me that you know that it is incorrect. Okay, so never doubt that. So let's go back. So in this case, calculate x. X is equal to 14. All right, I'm going to have to move to the next page. And we're still talking about the same thing. Are these two triangles similar? What you need to do, though, is we need to figure out which angles correspond to which angles. So the first thing we know, the first thing you should always think about is that our vertical angles are the same. Okay. Then we have side angle, side. And obviously, oh, look, you guys, we can figure this out. We know 5 times 2 is 10, right? And 4 times 2 is 8. So let's write a similarity statement. And let's do it in the correct order. So if I say triangle AEB is similar to triangle. So from A to E was the 10. So I need to go from C to E, because that's the 5, and 5 times 2 is 10. Those two are corresponding to each other. CE, D, and ED is 4, and EB was 8, and AE was 10, and CE was 5. So we had 5 times 2 was 10, remember, and 4 times 2 was 8. So don't forget, they have to be written in the correct order. All right, let's do another one. All right, this top one says we need to calculate for x. I'm going to assume that they want us to know that these are similar, so let's just double check. We know that vertical angles are the same. But I don't know what x is, so I can't say 2x and 24. I can figure out that, oh, if these lines are parallel, this is how they want me to do it. If these lines are parallel, then my alternate interior angles are the same. So as long as you have two angles, that means everything's the same. So they are similar. So I know that 18 times some number should give me 20. And I know, and the reason that I know this, you guys, is because you've got to look at what the angles they have in common, right? Let's do these all in different colors. Oh, that's so pretty. This angle corresponds to this angle. And purple. This angle, oh, it's hard to see, corresponds to this angle. It looks like eyeshadow. Okay. So because that's the way they correspond to each other, 20 is in between pink and purple, and 18 is also in between pink and purple. So that means 18 times some number we don't know is going to be 20, and 2x times some number we don't know, let's change this to be a different letter, n, is going to be 24, right? So we know that there's some number n that we need to figure out is equal, if we multiply by both of them, it's going to give us the same value. So an easy way to think of this is that n here is going to be equal to, if I divide both sides by 18, n is going to be equal to 20 over 18, and n on this bottom one is going to be equal to 24 over 2x. So if n are both of these, then those must be equal to each other. That's the transitive property, right? So we have 20 over 18 is equal to 24 over 2x. And to make my mental math a little bit easier, I'm going to reduce this. So I can reduce 20 over 18. If I cut each of those numbers in half, I get 10 over 9 is equal to 24 over 2 is the same as just 12 over 1, right? So we'll just leave that x. Then I can cross multiply. So I take x times 10, and I get 10x is equal to, and then I do 9 times 12. Let's see. Watch my mental math, okay? Then, so I got 9 times 12 is 108. I think that is correct. Then to get x, I divide both sides by 10, and x is equal to, if I divide by 10, I just move the decimal point, so that's going to be 10.8. Okay, so I get x is equal to 10.8. How can I check that? Well, what I can say is 2 times 10.8 is going to be what? Let's use the calculator. Oh, I could have done that in my head. Miss Binkley. 10.8 times 2. That's why I couldn't do it in my head. It's late, you guys. I'm doing this for you. Staying up doing this for you. 10 times, nope, 10.8 times 2. Nice, 21.6. So this side is going to be 21.6, which means there should be, we can figure out that n, right? There should be some value. If I multiply 21.6, I get 24. And if I multiply 18 by that same number, I get 20. So how do I figure that out? Well, I can just divide. So what is 20 divided by 18? I'm just checking my